Pakistan votes today in an election marred by allegations of military manipulation and mainstreaming of extremists. We look at the rise of Imran Khan from political lightweight to potential prime minister. Is the man who confirmed the role of Hafiz Saeed, Lakhvi and the ISI in the 26/11 Mumbai attacks battling for life? Reports say Lashkar terrorist David Coleman Headley was critically injured after being attacked by jail inmates. And more than 50 people are dead in wildfires around Athens. It's Greece's worst fire disaster in more than a decade. It's Wednesday, July 25th. For only the second time in its 70-year history, Pakistan is poised to witness a civilian transfer of power. Of the three key dramatis personae in today's election, Pakistan's cricket icon turned politician Imran Khan, all surveys show, has gained significant ground. Now, most people in the subcontinent, and indeed cricket fans anywhere, would remember Imran Khan for his exploits on the cricket field and as well a playboy off it. It would perhaps be difficult to reconcile that image with the Imran Khan who launches into an impassioned defense of Pakistan's controversial blasphemy laws that carry the death penalty. The law is seen as targeting minorities. In an election that has seen the mainstreaming of extremist groups, with those like Mumbai attacks mastermind Hafiz Saeed fielding candidates and campaigning countrywide with impunity, Imran Khan too is seen as someone willing to foster links with hardline Islamists. Hafiz Saeed apart, fundamentalists on the election ballot include candidates fielded by Ahmed Ludhianvi's anti-Shia Ahle Sunnat wal Jamaat. The outfit is associated with the Lashkar-e-Taiba, responsible for many attacks in Pakistan targeting Shias. There is also the Barelvi Tehreek-e-Insaf Pakistan. Back to the man who could be Pakistan's next leader. How did Imran Khan go from being a political lightweight to potential prime minister? After all, Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf was launched way back in 1996 and has since seen limited political success. Allow me a cricketing parallel. Remember when suggestions were made that tampering of the ball was an essential part of why Imran and his compatriots were so adept at the subtle variation of reverse swing? Well, Imran never considered ball tampering as cheating. To him, it was accepted as a part of cricket. Well, like in cricket, so also in politics, Imran Khan, it is suggested, is not averse to Pakistan's powerful military tampering the ball, or if you may, allegedly fixing the match in his favour. How so and why, you ask? Sharad Sabharwal, former Indian High Commissioner to Pakistan, will help us understand. Let's look at the events of 2011.
The PPP government was in power and the elections were 2 years away. The elections took place in 2013. By then, it was clear that Nawaz would be doing well. He was coming up in Punjab, their government was doing well and so on. And of course, they had, problems with Nawaz in the past. His uneasy relationship with his army chief, then his bitter experience after the coup in 1999, he's repeatedly expressing the desire to improve relations with India. Another thing that was happening was that in spite of some frictions, the PPP government and PMLN were cooperating to put through certain significant constitutional amendments, the devolution of powers to provinces and so on. It was clear to the army that these two major parties wouldn't cooperate with them against each other. So, they were in need of a third player who would be willing to cooperate with them. In the past, PPP and PMLN had cooperated with the army against each other. Remember from 1988, two governments of Benazir and two governments of Nawaz Sharif were ousted because these parties cooperated against each other with the army. Now that situation had changed by 2011. So as I said, they were looking for a new player, and Imran sort of came along. He had founded his party in 1996. Since then, he had got only one seat in the intervening elections, in the 2002 election held under Musharraf. And you found that suddenly he was addressing very large rallies, and the rumor mill had it that the ISI was engineering those crowds. Politicians who had worked with the army in the past, they gravitated towards him in large numbers. And so overnight, from someone who had failed to make a mark, he became someone who posed a challenge and who was a political player of some standing in the Pakistani politics. So that's how he started getting built up. Of course, he didn't deliver in 2013. But this time around, the attempt has been more brazen, and the expectation is that he would deliver. At least that's what those who promoted him, they feel.
What will the outcome of these elections mean for India?
I believe it will be more of the same for Pakistan, and since it's more of the same for them, it will be more of the same for us. And let me explain why do I say that. Look, the army was controlling foreign and security policy and whatever else they wish to control in the polity. That was true under Nawaz. That will be true under whoever is the Prime Minister now. My own feeling is that the army's first preference would be a hung assembly, in which they can constitute a majority of their own choice and make someone of their own choice a non-entity, preferably the Prime Minister. Second choice would be Imran.
So what is the one thing to look out for?
Let's not forget that Nawaz has practiced a very, very open anti-army politics of late. He was always trying to redress the civil-military balance, wrest control of foreign affairs, security from the army. But of late, because of his own misfortunes, the way he was treated, he's been far more open. He's spoken even of their subverting the Mumbai trial. Now, if he still manages to get significant percentage of vote, that at the very least be an indication that his voters do not regard that kind of politics as a reason not to vote for him. There is a sizable constituency in Pakistan which challenges the narrative of the Pakistan army, and Nawaz has become their voice.
Meanwhile, the man who confirmed the role of Hafiz Saeed and Zakir Rahman Lakhvi, as also the involvement of 3 ISI officers in the 26/11 Mumbai attacks, David Coleman Headley, is reportedly battling for life after being attacked by 2 inmates at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Chicago. The Pakistani-American Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorist was sentenced to 35 years in prison by a US court for his role in the 26/11 Mumbai attacks. News agency PTI quoted the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Chicago as saying, "We're not able to locate information about this individual." Headley, born Dawood Gilani, had wrecked multiple Indian cities before the 26/11 attacks at the behest of the Lashkar-e-Taiba. He was arrested by American authorities in 2009 and in 2016 testified before a court in Mumbai via video conferencing from his prison in the United States during the trial of Abu Jundal. At least 50 people have been reported dead and over 100 injured in wildfires in Greece. 2 major forest fires that originated a little off the Greek capital Athens continued to blaze through Tuesday. 26 bodies were found huddled together, charred to death in the seaside village of Mati, which is at the center of the disaster. Close to 700 people who had rushed out of their houses and collected on the beach have been rescued by the Coast Guard. Residents have been asked to vacate their houses to avoid deaths from smoke poisoning. Fires are a recurring problem in the region that experiences hot, dry summers, with a similar fire having killed dozens in 2007. According to the BBC, the flames this week were fanned by high winds. News agency AFP, though, quoted officials who suspect that the blaze may have been started by arsonists looking to loot abandoned homes.
Ready, steady, slow,
Welcome to the World Snail Racing Championship 2018, sure to satisfy your need for speed. This has been running as a charity event in an English village since 1960. Racers bring their snails, pay an entry fee, and that's it. The snails have to cross over 2 concentric circles and reach the outermost. The training is intensive.
Just be calm, concentrate on what you need to be, don't worry about the other snails, just hit the finish line and we go on from there.
We take this seriously. We've got stud farm, we've got training slopes, we look at diet, we're drug compliant as well. It's the whole thing when you look at elite sports.
This year's race on the 21st saw over 150 snails slug it out, with a snail called Astha crawling to victory, which is basically a silver tankard and lettuce leaves. The fastest snail ever? Guinness World Record holder Archie, who completed the 13-inch, a little more than your full-size ruler course in just 2 minutes and 20 seconds back in 1995. Onwards at Snail's pace then. Bye for today.